Oh, okay. Hello. It has been a long time since we've played Vinemon. Last time we played, it was version 1.1.6, and I rage quit because I really fucking sucked, and the Pokemon League was kicking my ass. I think we haven't gotten this mystery gift, so let's do that. All the other ones we've done, I believe. But yeah, we're at the Vinemon League, and let's give ourselves a little team tour because I don't fucking know what we've got here. But I've got Reaper, a legendary tier Pokemon, or Vinemon, sorry. Rocking some amazing physical moves. We're gonna end up EV training all of our Pokemon here. It's super effective against ice types and has because we're gonna end up EV training our Pokemon here, I'll talk a bit about that later. We're gonna have to decide what to do about this because obviously we've got mostly physical moves here. We've got Omegatroid, another great little Pokemon we've got here. I just remember that he kicks absolute ass. I've never seen any gameplay of this game, but I've heard a lot about it. It's very like shitposty game, but it also put in like an insane amount of effort. When you first play, you think like, oh wow, they went all in on the visuals because the visuals are all in. It feels like so many things are animated, so many things just look beautiful. And then you play and you get to the Pokemon League and you realize that they've put all in into also making it like competitive and having interest in things you can do with a Pokemon. Unfortunately for me, I'm not a competitive guy. I'd rather just sit in the corner and get beat off. But this is our team. This is another legendary tier Pokemon we've got here, and you can see Oblivion Wing, which is really cool. But yeah, oh, Buff Scoot, of course. You kick ass, you're good. You've got Oblivion Wing, but that's a fucking mistake to give that to you. Because your special attack is in the gutter. So like, what was I cooking? So last time I played this game, I had to go at the Pokemon League, and I got my ass absolutely cooked. And combined with the fact that I was extremely sleepy when that happened, I kind of rage quit. And then the jam happened, and so we haven't played this game in like 6 months. I got some advice from the dev. They said, hey, shit's gonna be hard. You should probably EV train. I said, nah, fuck that. I'm gonna go monkey mode. I don't want to EV train. I don't like doing that shit. And he said, but actually, Uwu, we've got a fun little EV training minigame in this game. I was like, oh, fuck it, you've convinced me. Okay, let's EV train. So here we are. Let's see what little minigame we've got for EV training. Let's make our team something. Ho, you flabby and weak trainer. You think you know how to train? Nonsense. Have you ever beaten your meat before? Bro, I was just talking about beating my meat in the corner. Excuse me? I mean meat. I keep meat lit in the backyard. Beat it for points. The more you beat it, the higher your score. If you can get a perfect score, I'll give you a prize. So my flaccid friend? Oh, that's where you're wrong, buddy. That's where you're wrong. Are you up for a challenge? It's very, like, smooth in a way that you kind of, like, expect the ROM hack to be. Oh, do I just walk into your backyard and beat meat? Okay. I want to get rid of my EVs, yeah. So I can just buy EVs. I can get that stuff. I can, well, what are we doing for berries here? I don't have enough money. Oh my god, I forgot. I lost to the Pokemon League so many times that I'm poor. I guess we gotta go sell some shit, huh? First, how does this work? Do you want to beat your meat? What kind of meat do you want to beat? Let's say we want to beat special defense. Are any of these fuckers special defense? I forgot. You are, right? So when the dev was like, hey, you should check out the minigame we cooked up for EV training. It's just the punching bag minigame in Essentials, except they made it look like you're beating your meat. I have 60. Okay, wait. I need to. I don't want to beat my meat right now. I want to reset my EVs. Is Rossetti going to reset my EVs? Reset EVs. Which one? All of them. I can't ever reset for reset. I don't mind. Reset me all the way. This way I don't need to go shopping. And proof Rebaz being reset? Okay. I'm gonna need you to do that 6 times, buddy. This is gonna take a moment. So what can I talk about while this takes a moment? Oh, I got fucking roasted by one of my students today. I posted this in the EV Expo Discord, but just for prosperity I'll say it here too. One of my students, she's a mom of 4 kids. And she's actually like the same one who talks about farts and shit. Yeah, it's me, Mr. Toenail. Yeah, like this is a student that talks about farts and complains about her husband farting so much. And also like has kids that cannot stop making ass jokes and shit jokes. Like I also had her kid today and her kid was just talking about poo non-stop. Anyway, she asked me what I bought on the weekend. I guess, like, she was asking me, like, what I'd gone shopping for. And I went through my memory and I said, like, what had I actually done on the weekend? What had I went and bought? And I had gone to the Pokemon Center in Nagoya. Because it recently moved, got a new building. It's got, like, a cool Celebi statue now. There's a bunch of cool stuff. It's really nice. So I went there on the weekend. And so I told her, oh, I went shopping at the Pokemon Center. And she just laughed at me. I was like, oh my god. You're a kid. I'm like, bro, Pokemon's a serious hobby. Lots of people like Pokemon. And I was like, yeah, it was actually really busy, you know? Like it was very crowded because it had just moved. So lots of people there. Sorry. Oh, fuck me. And then she was like, yeah, lots of kids, right? I'm like, wow. I'm not gonna be the kind of fucker who tries to explain that Pokemon is actually a serious hobby, but yeah. I teach all kinds of students. I range from a 2-year-old to like 70-year-olds. There's a wide variety. Let's just double check that I didn't miss anyone and we did wipe everyone's memory. Okay, so we're just going speed. And depending on our dude, different stats. As much as I really like Geyser Burst, I think I gotta go physical or Reaper. The special attack will still be decent. A serious hobby? I don't know. What do adults do? Invest? Oh no, a serious hobby for these people are like playing golf, I guess. Playing tennis. I don't know, some shit. So I'm doing attack for Reaper. So I guess we're just beating our meat for probably the next... It seems like this won't take too long, but we'll probably be beating our meat for a while. And unfortunately, that was the main anecdote I had. 70 EVs invested. What other anecdotes do I have? One of the elementary school kids today, around 11 years old or so. Hard to explain, but we had to like do a drawing about what they're gonna do on their... What is this song? About what they're gonna do on their summer vacation. And these kids love to bully me. It's their favorite way to use the English language, to find some way to insult teacher and do the opposite of what I tell them to do. And so what this kid wrote for their summer vacation, they said, I can't remember the exact words, but it was like, I'm going to eat ice. Okay. This kid's got a fascination with eating ice, and this has been like a reoccurring theme for her. And then she said, and dance, and she drew a little like emoji or emoticon face next to it, like the type you type on your computer, but it was with pencil. And then she said, and eat teacher. And there was this horrible drawing of like me being shot. And then it had like an arrow pointing to me saying Tom. And then a soup that was colored red and had bones inside it. I was like, oh god. Ice. Eating ice. ICE. But yeah, I mean, eating eyes wouldn't be that out of character considering she then changed to eating teacher. I was like, okay. Look, at least you're using the English language, so I'll give that to you. But man, these kids. Okay, now I think I'm out of anecdotes that I can talk about while beating my meat. Well, I mean, if she's eating teacher, she has to eat my eyeballs at some point. They're gonna be in that bloody soup she drew, and they're probably gonna be floating for top Yu-Gi-Oh style. This weekend I'm meeting with like some other teachers that I've never met with before, and we're going on a small hike. Apparently it's a very, very small hike, just like 1 or 2 kilometers up a mountain. A small mountain. It seems like the view should be quite nice, but it will be nice to hang out with some other people and make some more friends. Yeah, there's fun days. There's also like days where I feel like I could quit at any moment and just say to my boss, "Hey, I've had it. I'm leaving now. This is it. See you later. Don't worry about paying me for the rest of the month. Like paying me for money at the end of the month. I'll leave now." But no, I'll stay to the end of my contract or whatever, and I'll have some fun while I do it. It's like my feelings really do change on like a day-to-day basis. Some days I'm like, yeah, this is great. And then some days I'm like, I don't want to be here anymore. Are you gonna say choking on these nuts or some shit? Or is choya an actual thing? I feel like I'm getting desnutted. I really hope I haven't accidentally given attack IVs to someone who needs special attack. I think the Frizula might be attack. Oh, Buff Scoot's definitely attack. I'll check after Buff Scoot. Did we? Oh no, I haven't. I honestly haven't like been drinking in a while. Which is probably a good thing. I don't know. I used to go drinking every weekend. Considering I'm meeting with other teachers on Sunday, I guess I'm probably going to be drinking this weekend. But what, I probably haven't drunk since like 3 or so weeks ago. That's how you know I don't have a problem. Hopefully. I wonder how the other teachers are. I haven't really kept in touch with too many of them, but some of them definitely developed a drinking problem. Hopefully they've been doing alright. I guess, you know, it's not a problem unless you call it a problem. Then maybe not a drinking problem, just a drinking habit. But yeah, life sucks or something, I don't know. Oh, something fun that I actually did do recently was I saw a Japanese movie. This is like slightly doxing myself. But there's a Japanese movie that came out recently called I Meet a Guy. That's like a Japanese thing. It sounds like English, saying I meet a guy. But it's just me saying the Japanese in an English accent. And it was actually filmed in like a town pretty near me that I visited plenty of times. Well, most of it was filmed in a town near me. And so a student recommended that I go see it. It's all in Japanese, and there's no subtitles. There's no English subtitles. There's no English subtitles. I went to watch it alone, but it actually was like the Japanese they used was simple enough that I could understand. And obviously, when you're watching a movie, it's not like reading a book. You've got visuals to accompany it. So I actually pretty much understood the whole plot of the movie, and even like a lot of the slightly more subtle things I could catch on to, which is really nice. So it's just kind of like a nice experience to watch that. Not only because like for the first time in forever I got to see a movie in cinemas that wasn't the fucking Garfield movie. No, I'm in Japan. What do you expect? It's a Japanese movie. I think the best I could have hoped for was for Japanese subtitles. But nah. But it was nice, and I'm glad I got to do that. I mean, that's the first time I've watched a Japanese movie without subtitles at all. I think it was a good movie for it, because like it seemed fairly simple. It was just a story about life. They weren't talking about any weird like sci-fi shit. Like if I watched like fucking Interstellar in Japanese, I'm not gonna know the fucking word for Murph's law or for black holes and time dilation and gravity and shit. I guess there must be some in Japan, but I'm in a very like not English area. I mean, the town I live in is already quite rural, and I'm not like in Tokyo, I'm not in Osaka, I'm not in Kyoto. Tourists don't even visit this town, the biggest town I live near is Nagoya, and it's like the 4th most populated city in Japan, but tourists never come here because it's not like a very touristy town. So I hardly ever see other white people, at least like if I compare the density of seeing other white people to when I go to Tokyo or Kyoto or Osaka. There's not that many white people at all. There are lots of like foreigners, but foreigners in a non-white foreigners. The town I'm in actually has like a surprising population of wait, give me a sec. I need to check my stats before I beat my meat again. Has a surprising population of Vietnamese people, and I see like Vietnamese supermarkets and whatnot around my small little rural town, which is pretty interesting. Japan does have like a pretty large number of well, we did physical for you and you are physical of foreigners, but a lot of people get mistaken because when they hear foreigners they think that means white people, and for Japan that doesn't really mean white people. You said you went to what's your opinion on going to movies alone or to a restaurant? I'm pretty sure you know you because I also I mean I used to like be really nervous about that. What fucking happened is you're a Marvel head, so you'll kind of understand this stuff. But I was living in Melbourne, in Australia, and I really wanted to see Multiverse of Madness because that sounded like a really cool kind of movie to see. But I didn't really have anyone to go with. So I was like, oh, should I go alone? Should I go alone? And I was kind of like really nervous about it because I'd never gone to a movie alone before. And you and Kenny are the 2 Marvel heads in my imagination. And but I bit the bullet and I went and saw Multiverse of Madness alone. I was fucking disappointed. I did not like it at all. I did not like it one bit. No, I did not, Sam, I am. I mean, actually, there were some parts I liked, but overall, I went in with way too high expectations. Because I just felt like it sounded so cool. Multiverse of Madness, that's gotta be a sick fucking movie. And my expectations were way too high and I was just massively disappointed. But then after that, I started going to movies frequently, a lot by myself. Like, when I was in uni, for about 6 months before I came to Japan, I would see a movie every Monday. And every Monday, I would go to the movie cinema. Sorry, I died, clicked wrong thing. And I would watch that movie by myself because the cinema near me did $7 movie tickets. And so that's only on Mondays. So that's where I would go. And so I've completely become desensitized to seeing movies alone because I fucking did it on a weekly basis for a long time. Yeah, exactly. It's like you can see movies alone, and honestly, in some sense, like if you're really into movies, you probably prefer. No, what did I click? You might even prefer just seeing movies alone. Okay, so the last two are. Or last one. Are you my only special attacker? Everyone else is physical, huh? I guess so. I guess we're fucked if we meet someone with high physical defense. But I'll see if I can find my, what do you call it? Letterboxed. You can see my journal and see just like how often I used to see movies. I think my name's just Tomix9Tomix. Is it not? Did I use my real name? I mean, that's honestly what I used to do, Bombastic. I used to, like, go before my classes on a Monday morning. I wouldn't plan what movie I'd go see, but I'd go to the cinema, and they always had, like, a bunch of weird movies on. I'd just pick a random one that was showing in, like, the next 10 or 15 minutes, and watch it, and it led to me watching, like, a bunch of really strange, not even, like, strange, but niche movies that I would have never seen before. And I didn't always like them, some of them were quite meh. But it was still a very interesting experience for me. That's crazy that, like, it's €7, €8 everywhere. That's really nice. Standard movie price in Australia is like 20 AUD. But this cinema did it for 7 AUD on Mondays, which is really nice. Let me see. I haven't finished this game. I rage quit this game, Mega Ninja. I rage quit this game at the I rage quit this game at the Pokemon League because it was too hard. This is my letterbox if you want to stalk like what movies I watched and when. I wrote some reviews, don't read them, they're cringe. I wrote reviews for the first 2 movies I saw in the cinema when I started watching movies by myself. And then I decided writing reviews was cringe and I stopped doing it. But you can see like it used to be that I'd watch like 4 movies a month for like 6 months straight because I'd be going every week. And then I came to Japan, and I pretty much was only able to watch movies whenever I stopped and watched them on Netflix. But yeah. Don't think too hard about the ratings I gave for movies. It's like a very vague rating system. But it's whatever. Okay, so I just need special attack for this guy. Look at that back sprite. Actually such a, like I know it's a fidget spinner, so hashtag cringe, but it is a beautiful sprite. And sick design. Blood, this shit started like a year and 2 months ago, okay? And considering for like 6 of those months I've been in Japan, or 7 of those months, and hardly been able to watch movies, I consider that pretty good. Yeah, that's like one of the movies I mean. That's one of the movies that I turned up at like 10 AM at the cinema before uni, and I was like, I'll watch whatever's on. That was on, and I was like, okay, I'll watch it. It wasn't like a great movie, but it was like the kind of movie that I would never ever watch otherwise. A movie about a fucking peach farm. Great. But yeah, like, just a lot of stuff like that. And some also like interesting Australian movies as well. The Royal Hotel, like, pleasantly surprised me. An Australian movie. I think like no one's gonna know that fucking movie, but it was decent. New Boy. I think The New Boy, is that what it's called? The New Boy was a very interesting Australian movie. I did not find the movie entertaining at all. I found it a little bit entertaining. But just itself, I found extremely interesting. Lie With Me, a kind of French movie, not that famous, not that popular. Would have never watched it if it wasn't for the cinema showing weird foreign movies. I love movies, man. I wish I watched them more often than I do. Speaking of movies and shit though, I recently started watching Arcane because like that's a thing. Well, Letterboxd is nice just because like keeping track of what movies you watch and when. It's kind of nice just being able to see like, hey, I've seen this many movies since last year. The Batman, that would have been like 2 years ago, right? The Batman was a good movie. Long, but good. But yeah, I started watching Arcane recently because it's complete and people say it's amazing. And what a plot twist. It's pretty fucking good. I'm only 3 episodes in, but oh my god, episode 3, like, I was watching that at the gym on the treadmill and I was like, this shit is fire. Okay, we're halfway through EV training. Now we just gotta put speed in everyone. Let's make this work. I went to a convention this weekend. There was a wicked awesome arcade. I mean, it must be fucking beautiful, right? Because straight up, the art of Arcane is fucking beautiful. Like, it looks so clean. Oh, hey, Kate, how you doing? Just coming on me and beating my meat, as I do. Or my meat lit, sorry. Look, man, I've been doing this for nearly half an hour now. Just beating my meat. It is what it is. I'm barely halfway done, brother. My meat is not even raw yet. We're coming in for round 2. What did Meg the Ninja just send to me? Is it going to be an image saying like play Nightmare? Nightmare happens after I beat this game. What am I going to see here? Oh, it's for Arcane wall painting. God, that does look sick. Yeah, that's like really nice, like street art kind of. I mostly used Filmweb, which is a Polish letterbox, but now I plan to go to festivals abroad, so I have one more. Oh, that's nice. Damn, going to film festivals abroad sounds fucking sick. Why did I exit out training? Pokemon Nightmare is a game from the Relic Castle Game Jam 9 that was next to play on my list that I still have not played because I'm very bad at playing fan games. And I made a unrealistic decision or oath to play all the Game Jam 9 games. I actually made a backlogged account at work today. I haven't like properly checked it out, so I don't know how it works, but seeing everyone talk about it made me want to get into it and start like cataloging what games I play. Because like with movies, I think it would be sick to have like an easy way to see what I've played throughout the year. I don't know if I will leave reviews, because like a movie feels much easier to give a numbered rating than a game. I don't know what kind of number I could give games at all. Ah yes, Concord, the very well regarded game that lived longer than maybe a fly. But I'm looking forward to this weekend. Like I said, I'm meeting some other teachers to go hiking, but I'm also meeting someone to play Pokemon cards, which is very exciting. And I'll be playing with Japanese Pokemon cards, so that's kind of stressful. But luckily for me, since I played Pokemon cards in Melbourne 6 months ago, I know half of the cards that will be used already, and I know what they mean in English just based off the top of my head. I can tell you what Boss's Orders does, I can tell you how to use an Ultra Ball. The other half of the cards that will have came out since April this year, that's going to be a bit more difficult. But I've been reading some of them, and just knowing like the keywords, like what deck is in Japanese, knowing what hand is in Japanese, it makes it a lot easier to understand, and I can kind of understand a Pokemon Japanese card now, which is nice, except for like when it gets super complex. Well, luckily none of these cards are like Yu-Gi-Oh cards, they don't say fucking essays on them. They're a lot more simple. I love Japanese Pokemon cards, the back is so much more beautiful than the... I forgot about that, the back is different, right? I've been here for so long that I completely forgot that like the back for Japanese cards is different, but there you go. I have a convention I also played in that. Oh, what deck did you use, Meg? I didn't realize you had your own physical deck. That's it. I want to show some sick shit that I got at the Pokemon Center. They've got like these starter decks for sale now in Japan, and there's one based off like each generation. For example, I can't remember what's what, but like you can get a Kanto one, you can get a Johto one, and whatnot. And they've got like different like flagship Pokemon on them to mark for the deck. And like for example, the art on them all is so fucking beautiful, and they have sleeves to match with each one. And considering there's 9 of these decks, you can see how people pour their money in them. But to be fair, since there's like starter decks, they're only like $10 each. But like, look at this art for the Sinnoh one. Let's go big camera here, because I wanna show this shit off. Look at that! I mean, that's not even giving it justice, but you can see the Dialga and Lucario at Spear Pillar. It looks fucking beautiful. All of them look stellar. Also, look at this deck box. It's so cute with Ampharos and Jasmine. I just had to buy. Oh, look at that shit. In fact, I bought 2 of them. I bought 2 of these starter decks so that when I meet the guy tomorrow, we can play using them. Because he's never played Pokemon cards before. These starter decks all use like really simple cards. They don't have like complex descriptions. So I think it will be a I think these starter decks are perfect for it. And then this is the Hoenn. Again, my camera is not doing it justice. But you can see the Kyogre, you can see the Blaziken. Shit looks so good. And all 9 generations of these starter decks have like equally beautiful art. It's mind-boggling. Let me see if I can get up on Google. Generations starter decks Japan. Here we go. Do they show the art for the box art? Because that's what I'm interested in. So, okay, let's just show this quickly. This is like the starter decks. They come in these packs. You can see Pikachu and Snorlax, Lugia, Tyranitar. These guys. Among Us? Oh my god. So you can see there's a whooping 9 of them. 1 for each generation. So while they're only like $10 each, it can quickly become $90, and if you want to buy the corresponding sleeves, it quickly becomes $180. It gets expensive, that's why I only bought 2, because guess what, Pokemon's a 2-player game. But let's see if I can find the sleeves. Because the sleeves are fucking beautiful. Here we go! Oh my god. This shit, look at this! They're all beautiful. I love them. Can I just open the PokeBeach site? You got Pikachu and Snorlax. Like, get out of here, ads. What is this? I don't want this shit. Look at this, man. It's beautiful. Like, imagine if it was a Pokemon that's cooler than Among Us. That might actually go hard. This one, the X and Y one is fucking stellar. This one was very tempting. So was this. God. Just fucking stellar sleeve art. But I think my two favorite are the Sinnoh and Hoenn arts for this. And that's why I ended up choosing those two starter decks to buy. It's just sick. It's fucking sick. I do not have ad blocker. I know I should. But I'm so fucking lazy that I can't even bother finding a good ad blocker because I used to have ad blocker, but then my ad blocker, I guess it sold out to my camera stopped. Sold out to the big dogs, and then the website started blocking that ad blocker. But yeah. Sorry, I skipped a bunch of decks, but yeah, the starter decks are really good for teaching people because they're a lot more simple. And yeah. I'm glad that you played with the Charizard EX deck, Mega Ninja, because that's the deck I used to play with in Melbourne. I really like it. It's a very fun deck in my opinion, and it's not that hard to play. Like, I guess at least comparatively to other meta decks, it's somewhat simple. And it's Charizard, so it's not to love. But yeah, I mean, like I was so tempted just to buy all the other sleeves and not even worry about getting the corresponding decks because those sleeves look good on any cards. I didn't go to regionals. I did one, like, we did have a regionals in Melbourne, but I was tempted to apply, but I had like uni that day or some shit. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I couldn't go, so I was like, I'm not gonna bother. I did like some local stuff, and I pretty much always got my ass kicked. But yeah, I mean, once I move back to Melbourne, I'd like to get back into Pokemon, play at events and whatnot. The Pokemon event that I miss the most is pre-releases. I mean, pre-releases are so fucking fun. And so chill. Japan doesn't have pre-releases, at least not like how the western sect of Pokemon TCG has them. And also, even if they did have pre-releases, I would probably struggle because pre-releases involves like the most learning of new cards. And it would be a lot of me trying to read quickly about cards that would probably hardly have been posted online yet. So no one would have online English translations of them. And just be a bit too stressful. I didn't know you played that much Pokemon cards, Zaf. What deck do you like? I'm gonna guess you roll Roaring Moon at the moment. I don't know, that's just a shot in the dark. I've got no reasoning to back it up. That's what I'm plugging in. If I make like a new deck when I go back to Australia, I have no idea what it would be. Oh, Lost Tina! Wow, okay, you use like the hard deck. You've got what, like 6 more months in you? Because Lost Box and Tina are next on the plate for rotation, right? I did get my ass kicked by a Tina deck when I played at one of the locals, I remember that. And this is something that, you can help me here, Zap. But this is something that like I didn't push because I don't want to like get in arguments with strangers. But I used an Iono or whatever you pronounce her name as. And then he wanted to cut my deck and he wanted me to cut his deck. But for Iono, you shouldn't be cutting decks, right? Because you're not shuffling the deck at all. And like, I kind of questioned him. He was like, because I didn't offer my deck to be cut. And then he was like, give me your deck. And I was like, huh? But it's Iono. And he was like, yeah, but we still cut decks for Iono. I was like, whatever, this is my first in-person event. I'll go along with it. But that just seems so like unlogical, right? Because the whole point of Iona is that you don't shuffle your deck. Yeah, right? The hand goes to the bottom. If you want to cut something, I guess you can cut the player's hand before they shuffle it and put it on the bottom. But yeah, I didn't push it because it was my first like in-person non-pre-release event. Oh damn! What the fuck? That's sick. We got a big dog. I don't think I could ever be a TCG judge though. That shit sounds stressful. And you have to like really know your shit because there are some interactions that can get so dicey. And I guess like for the really like difficult interactions, you can't just learn them off the top of your head, and you don't have to think through the logics immediately, like on the spot. I mean, but yeah, my brother's more serious, better player though. I mostly only go along with him, play for fun. I'm like mid-avis, not top player or something. I see. But still, playing at regionals and shit sounds like a great time. I'd love to go to like a Australian regionals one day. But first I'll go back to Australia and then I'll get a job in Australia first before I worry about that. It's really hurting me like not being able to play TCG Live here, because TCG Live is locked in Japan. Because I guess Japan Pokemon cards don't have like the codes or whatever. I know I could just play with like a VPN, but my internet's already pretty shitty. And if I have a VPN on top of that, I just think it's not going to be fucking worth it, and my connection's going to be dog shit. Okay, well, we're on like the final stretch for beating our meat. We are red, we are raw, there's a little bit of blood, a little bit of pus coming out. We just got to allocate our last EVs into HP, I believe. I think that's how the big dogs normally do it. And then I should probably figure out something to get rid of Oblivion Wing for Scoot. Go to regionals with friends. Yeah, that's the other thing, like making friends in the TCG scene sounds super fun. I don't know if you know this format, Zaf, but I actually, more than I played Standard, I ended up going to weekly GLC events fairly consistently. And because of like GLC is such like a kind of niche format, the crowd there was like really nice and welcoming, and I feel like I actually was able to become friends with the guys there. In general, it was just a really nice time. GLC was fun. And you're allowed to play with proxies, at least at the GLC I went to. Yeah, Gym Leader Challenge, yeah. So like, you could kind of just rock up with any kind of deck you printed off. What's it called? Like Tricky Gym? I can't remember the exact website that GLC has the stuff on. But you could just print out stuff from a proxy printer and play it. And the shop I even went to had like a bunch of proxy decks already printed out for walk-ins to use if they wanted to play. Just a super fun time. If anyone ever complains about Pokemon being all EX cards, just shoot them to GLC and be like, stop belly aching. You're wrong, and stop belly aching. Wait till you see my Clorf deck. Not a single EX in there, buddy. Clorf was a deck that I was like kind of tempted to make in person, like make physically, just because of it would be cheap to build since you're not getting any big cards. It's just Clorf. Okay, but all that said and done, what is it, like 40 minutes later? We are fully EV trained. Unfortunately, this does not mean we're going to kick ass. Because unfortunately, this Pokemon League is absolutely fucking tough as nails, and I don't think my team matches up against it that well. I'd originally planned on going Monkey Mode, turn up XP gain, and it's crazy that I only have 30 hours in this game. I feel like I have much more. Turn on XP gain and let in everything go. up to like level 100, but I'll turn the level cap back on. Enable level cap. There we go. Yeah, there's so many like sick animations in this game. Do I have any like TMs like give to Scoot? I don't know. What do I even want for Scoot? I've got too many TMs. I can't scroll through all this shit. You can see all the optional shit I've done by the fact that like hardly any numbers are missing. We're missing TM95, TM92, 89. I've picked up a lot of optional items, huh? I found like every TM. Do you know like Vinny Vine Source lore? Do you know like who Janice is? If it misses, the target is burned. What's this? No, you can learn it. Omega Troy can learn it. 95 attack, you're physical, so I don't want you. I've got a water move. I don't know, what can Scoot even learn? I think there's an easier way to do this, right? I can go Vinemon, item, use. Here we go, so this is what he can learn. Ice Beam? No, we want physical, right? Smackdown? We have a rock type dude already. Earthquake! Honestly, like, just yes, right? Earthquake's overpowered, it's physical. Why not? Get rid of Oblivion Wing. Okay. With that out of the way, let's roll into the league.